Well, get what you want now and pay for it later. What's not to like, right? A new credit model is taking shape in the country. A simple small ticket loan that powers online and sometimes offline purchases with the click of a button. I'm talking about the rise of the buy now, pay later phenomena. That is what's on top of mind, and that's what we discuss here on Mad About Markets. Hi, Manglam.
Hi Ritu, buy now, pay later. The convenience of paying later. Well, it's a new phenomenon in the digital world. In the real world in India, it's been happening for a lot of time. Remember those old khata systems that we had at the local kirana stores, right? For regular customers, you could go ahead, keep a tab, buy your daily provisions and pay later at some point. This BNPL system is not much different, except that this khata has now moved online. Signing up on BNPL is extremely easy. The loan does not come with a hefty price tag. In fact, no interest in most cases. It's digital, it's convenient, enables instant gratification with attractive user interface. And that's what millennials and Gen Z like, right?
Exactly, and that is why most of the users are actually your 18 to 30-year-olds, right? So let's get down to it. What exactly is buy now, pay later? Now, simply put, BNPL or buy now, pay later is a short-term financing service which is sold as a product, and that allows customers to spread their payments for a purchase, usually without any interest cost. Of course, there's always a catch. So a buy now, pay later company will tie up with e-commerce players like your Amazon or Flipkart, your food companies like Swiggy, Zomato, etc., or even travel companies like Make My Trip, etc., and then it will allow customers to buy immediately and defer the payments by a few months or up to a few days, depending on what you want. You can even choose to pay it in installments, and then you will of course be not charged interest, but just as long as you pay on time.
Yeah, paying on time, that's most important, right? It's like one of those payment options that come to you once you check out of any of these e-commerce websites. So rings a bell, right? Sounds like a credit card product. Well, credit cards are indeed the original buy now, pay later product. They do have wider acceptance in terms of places where they work, but a lot of people don't have credit cards in this country, and that's where the problem is. Credit card penetration in India is an abysmal 3.5%, 3.3% to be specific, and this 97% market is where the BNPL guys step in, seizing this opportunity.
But you know, while we talk about buy now, pay later, the first thing that comes to mind is a credit card, but there are very important differences between the two. In fact, they're very, very vastly different. Let's see. First of all, you know, what is the first thing that comes to mind when you talk about a credit card, right? Hidden charges. Everybody is scared of those. That does not happen when you talk about buy now, pay later. It's just a very transparent zero interest rate policy.
Well, the reason why credit cards are so underpenetrated is because for credit cards, you require a credit history, which not a lot of Indians have. And that's where buy now, pay later comes in, because no credit history, you can still enter that pool and you don't need any credit history for that.
But let's talk about acceptance, right? I can walk into any place with the confidence that if I have my credit card, I will be able to get what I want, right? But with buy now, pay later, it's only available on select e-commerce sites and only by fintech companies.
And you have to give it to the credit cards when it comes to credit limits as well. They are vast, and in a lot of stray cases, they're also limitless. I've heard of people go ahead and buy flats using a credit card. Not in India though. However, they are much higher than the 60,000 rupees limit that buy now, pay later offers.
Well, sure, you can buy a flat, but eventually in 30 to 60 days with your credit card, you're going to have to cough up that money, right? With buy now, pay later, that interest-free period, it can extend up to 48 months.
48 months, that's rather attractive, because even after 30 to 60 days of grace in a credit card, you have to pay interest up to 48%, and that really kills a person. When buy now, pay later comes by, you just have to pay late fees at best. If you pay in time, you don't have to pay that either.
But you know, let's talk about the payment options as well, right? In a credit card, you can pay the minimum amount due and then roll over what you have to pay, whereas in buy now, pay later, you have to pay that fixed EMI for the option that you've chosen.
Well, you buy now, pay later, you roll over, you have to pay a lot more interest as well. But to attract people for credit cards, you do get those 3, 5, at times even 10% in terms of cashbacks. That's not coming in buy now, pay later. Is that a problem?
No, not at all. Actually, that is the big reason why I'd still use a credit card. But other than that, the buy now, pay later option does seem a whole lot more attractive, right?
Yes, it does. So let's talk about what buy now, pay later, or who these players are. Let's segregate them into two. The first part are pure BNPL, suppliers who tie up with platforms to give this service of buy now, pay later. This includes your likes of LazyPay, Simple, Capital Float. You would have worked with someone like a Zest Money, etc., etc. And then there are these captive players who are basically vendors or specific platforms who do provide the buy now, pay later service. Something like Amazon Pay Later or Ola Money postpaid for all those bookings made on Ola itself. It is a financial product allowing people to go ahead and pay later, buy the product first. And who are the players? We have technology players, we have the vendors themselves. The big question, Ritu, where are the banks? What are they doing here?
Well, I admit it was the startups that did lead the charge because banks initially were worried that this is going to cannibalize on the credit card business, right? And that is very dear to them because they get the maximum amount of interest or money that they're able to make with that portfolio. But over time, they've come to realize that credit cards and buy now, pay later can coexist and even complement each other. So banks have joined the party and are using buy now, pay later to attract a new set of customers that have actually stayed away from taking credit cards. So you have a Flexi Pay from HDFC Bank, a Pay Later from ICICI Bank, a Free Charge from Axis Bank, and so on. There are lots of these products and they've only been launched in the last few years, by the way.
Well, they've launched it in the last few years. Are they late to the party or not is something that we'll have to watch out for. But you know, in Silicon Valley, they do say that if you don't cannibalize your business, Somebody will go ahead and do that. What does the benefit of buy now, pay later come in terms of vendors and merchants? Well, it's simple, it's intuitive. If you provide your customers with an option to buy now and pay later, you obviously are going to see better sales and increased ticket size. A lot of people who would go ahead, add products to cart and then abandon them, not to buy them, that has reduced as well. And for customers, obviously you get affordability and convenience. You can go ahead, buy the products that you want right now without the worry of paying for them immediately, and that is a big game changer, at least in this business. But the question, Ritu, is then how do these guys make money? Because there's no interest out here, right?
That's a good question, right? I mean, you think about the product, there's zero interest rate. So what is in it for the buy now, pay later players? Let's understand how this ties in with their business model. For starters, while you may not be paying them any interest, they do collect fees from the merchants, which is typically about 1 to 2.5% of the purchase value of the card. Additionally, in the case of late payment, of course, they also charge a penal fee. But essentially, you know what? This is a volume game because transactions are usually low ticket, which is less than 5,000 rupees, but they are the high frequency repeat transactions like your food deliveries, travels, grocery, etc. In case you convert it into an EMI option, then the provider also earns interest like banks. They earn processing fees and other service fees, late payment, etc. So this is how they're able to sustain a zero interest model.
It seems like a win-win from all that we've gathered right now, but I'm sure there would be some caveats to this as well. So let's dive deeper into this BNPL pool and discuss this and more. We have with us three very special guests from this universe itself. Nitya Sharma, who's the co-founder and CEO of Simple, joins us on the program. Also, we have Amit Goyal, who's the India head and vice president of Proof, they're a research firm, and Vikas Bansal, the director of Amazon Pay. In fact, between Vikas and Nitya, they account for the lion's share of this BNPL universe itself. Thanks a lot, gentlemen, for joining in. Let's come to you, Nitya, first. You know, if you could tell us, has the credit culture changed only during the pandemic because a lot of digitization took place, or this was prevalent before that as well? And how did the players